forward to getting to. Paul O'Neill has been there with those 1990 world champion Reds. Giovanni Carrara, Italian Venezuelan.
Wow.
Comes on. See his numbers. Taking over the pitching in the 8th. Yankees, of course, have appeared to be in command of this game from the start, but you can bet Buck Showalter would still like to manufacture another run or two.
Andy Velarde with a swing and a foul ball. Speaking of Kansas City, was back in '76 when the Yankees down the Kansas City Royals to reach the World Series, and they beat them again in '77. Reached the World Series again. The only time the Yankees have lost a postseason series was to Kansas City in 1980. That's excluding the World Series. You know, we see Buck making his notations in his book every game, whether it was spring training or regular season. Thinking ahead that if the Yankees get into the postseason, they could end up playing maybe the Atlanta Braves in the World Series or the Colorado Rockies, and they will have actually played in those ballparks during this spring training season. Velarde cracks one to left field. It's carrying well, and it is carrying into the second deck. Randy Velarde with a home run to greet Giovanni Carrara. Arrivederci. Yankees take a 6-1 lead. Wow, that one was way up in the second deck.
Not the reception Pat Kelly got with the 9th inning job. There's some controlled emotion in that dugout right now. They are waiting for 6 big outs to let it all loose.
When does it officially become a blowout? It's 6-1 now.
If you ask Buck Showalter, he would probably say, oh, 12-1. Velarde gets that pitch on the inside half and turns on it. The Yankees have done this as much as any team in baseball, scored 4 or more runs, right along with the Red Sox and the Indians. They've now done it 104 times. And you figure most of the time you get that many runs with good pitching, you're going to win. But to say it's a blowout, no. Buck would say, I want a couple of more before you say that.
3-2 now to Tony Fernandez. This is the 72nd and final game of the year at home for Toronto. 30 times they've played with the roof open as Fernandez fouls it off his foot. There have been a total of 91 home runs hit with the roof open, and the opposition has hit 51. Toronto only 40 home runs.
And speaking of home runs, there's a pair of home run hitters, and there again is a tribute to the Yankees' balance in their lineup. Kansas City, Milwaukee down near the bottom, and then the Yankees right above them in 12th spot in home runs, and yet they've produced consistent runs right there with Boston and Cleveland. Tony Fernandez fouled that right off the instep. Gene Monahan applying some of that ethyl chloride. And while he does, Dave, I think, you know, this being our first year being able to bring Yankee baseball to the fans on Madison Square Garden, it's been a privilege to do that and be able to work with our fine crew, who we'd like to acknowledge since this will be our last coverage. Marty Brooks, executive vice president in charge of production, Mike McCarthy, our executive producer, and the guys in the truck that make it all happen. You don't get to see them, but they provide the pictures. Producer Leon Schweier and director Bill Webb.
Fernandez bounces one up the middle, but it's gloved by Gonzalez. He'll make the play in time. And joining them, some other excellent support people: Eddie Caginelli, Mike Santini,
our associate producers. And no one gives you more information and preparation with the video backup than Mike and Eddie do to do a baseball game.
Pat Kelly hits it hard, short hop nicely by Perez, and Kelly is thrown out.
Also, Dave, not just our MSG staff, but when you go to Yankee Stadium, we get an awful lot of help from Arthur Richmond and Rob Butcher, Marty Naughton in the media relations department, and all of the staff personnel there, whether it's the press box or down near the field. They make it very comfortable for us to come to Yankee Stadium and do our job. So we're appreciative of the help and cooperation from all of those.
I second that heartily. Gerald Williams for his first at bat against Carrara. Here is the Yankees back in the 8th inning, leading now 6-1. Rob Butcher, as a matter of fact, back in New York, working to get all the postseason media guides and accommodations set.
You cannot imagine what a nightmare this last weekend is for the media relations people, with all the different possible scenarios, and you know, who might travel where, preparing press notes, and that's what Rob Butcher is doing. Marty Naughton right here in Toronto with us, along with Arthur Richmond.
Hanging pitch hit in the air, foul. Sprague is going to give it a look. No chance.
Wow. National League, just to keep you updated on all of the wild card races in the National League, the Giants pounding Brett Saberhagen. They lead the Rockies now 7-2.
Carrera's 1-2 to Gerald is hit up the middle. Another chance. And Gonzalez throws him out. So the